you're trading the DAX, right, Cameron?
Predominantly, I trade the DAX, but I also trade on the NASDAQ as well. So I'm getting a bit of feedback here. Let me turn this down. But yeah, so predominantly DAX, but NASDAQ as well. I'm out in Asia, so this is my nighttime, and this is your morning, right?
It's true. It's 9:30. It's 9:30 your time. So you're in Bangkok right now, aren't you?
I'm in Bangkok right now. Yeah.
So you have a Mexico, Playa del Carmen. This is also something. We met first in Australia, in Melbourne, for the IFTA conference, which was pretty exciting. And then we found, okay, well, let's continue with cooperation, with starting some kind of friendship. So of course we shared some beer as well, right?
We shared quite a few beers, as I remember it. But we're similar in the sense that, okay, we're both traders, but we also have a kind of similar style, maybe similar ages. We choose to travel from using the markets for the freedom that we have in the markets to be able to travel the world. You're traveling a little bit more than I am at the moment, but this is what we choose from the market, right?
Yes, true. I mean, when I was in Southeast Asia, I felt like it was really stressful for me because you experience the same. Right now, it's 9:30 p.m. at your place. We were discussing what time can we start this. They say I might have a glass of wine while I have a coffee, right? So it's because of the different time zones. Working in these time zones for you, trading US markets is more or less useless because it's so late in the night or in the evenings. Well, if it's a fun-loving guy, you like to go out, have dinner, meeting friends, but you will not go.
I'm in tonight just because of you.
Yeah, see?
But I did have a glass of wine before, so we're okay.
Yeah, okay, perfect. See, but that's also something we have to consider as traders. If we travel, if we really try to enjoy our lives that way, with what really trading offers us, well, we really have to make a decision. What do we trade, right? So, and of course, we can trade like Forex, which is pretty common. And most of the people, especially in Asia, I guess, are trading Forex, aren't they? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of Forex trading. I mean, for myself, I like to really just trade at the open of the market. Yeah, for myself, okay, I used to be a Dow Jones trader, so exactly what you were saying. When I came out to Asia, I was trading at 9 o'clock at night. That lasted for 2 years, and I said, okay, I need to move to another market. I moved over to the DAX, but I really like to just trade at kind of set times. I'm normally around at the open for maybe half an hour before the open, maybe half an hour after, and I've either traded, got into a trade and got out, or I know where I'm going to trade in the market and just set an alert and get on with your day. I think I said to you before that one of the biggest thing I learned from my stats was that the longer I sat at the screen, the less money I made.
Yeah, why is that, by the way? I mean, somehow it feels like a misconception of a lot of traders feel like, okay, I have to sit in front of the computer like for a whole day, just tie myself to the desk and hunt for every situation, every setup, have a lot of strategies, of course, and just to get the maximum out of it, just to experience later on, maybe at evening hours, that you're totally devastated and your account didn't grow at all.
Yeah, I think in the early days you've got to really sample everything, don't you? You have to spend time. You need time in the market. You need to test your trades, test what suits you, what doesn't suit you. But after that, you kind of learn that really there's only a certain few trades that really suit your own style, and you just don't need to sit there all the time. Yeah, and for me, that means that, I'll trade maybe once or twice a week. That's it.
Oh, see, so I really love that because I always feel the same like you. Like, why should I sit there anyway the whole day? I mean, of course, I have some other stuff to do. Writing emails, doing some management stuff, calls and meetings and coachings and fun time as well, or research for where can I go next. But to think about, okay, you have to focus on a trade for like a whole day. It's really exhausting. And I feel sometimes like, yeah, one trade a day should do the job. Either it's good or bad in terms of profit or loss. One trade should do it. What do you think about that?
100%. I mean, but some days there is no trade.
Yeah.
So yesterday I rocked up to the market. I did all my normal analysis, and I'm like, do you know what? There's nothing to get involved with today.
Yeah.
And I think you're kind of saying it. We're at the stage where we just don't want the hassle. Why have to sit in front of the screen, get drawn into trades, get drawn into bad trades? Just wait for the good ones.
Yeah, hunting the trade, right? Like, I'm sitting here like for 12 minutes now. I have to make a trade. So things like that.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with the volatility? I mean, as far as I know, you also have something like you do your analysis before, so you know where all the levels are, where you like to enter the trade, where you like to exit it, and at all. So is it that you really see, okay, prices are jumping up and down, and they just reach my my limits, or what do you do? Do you follow candlesticks? How can I understand the style you're trading, what you're looking for?
So my analysis, I like to look at, okay, where is the market potentially positive above, and where is it going to run to? Where's that potentially going to run to? So I'll maybe give you an example of the DAX in a second, or where are we just in a range, or where are we in a negative market? So I'm looking to try and get into that move when it breaks into a positive zone or a negative zone. Then I'll look to add on pullbacks, and then we'll get to a stage where I'm going to go, okay, at this stage, for example, at the moment, we've had 7 up days in the DAX for the start of the year. The 15-1 sort of 100 levels kind of, to me, is the start of the end of this trend up.
Yeah.
Also, we can see on the daily charts, the RSI is getting really high. So, that's first indication that, okay, maybe we're starting to slow down. And as you say, you just start to look at those candles, those hour candlesticks, and you can just see the range happening. Volatility's dropped off. Those big, bullish candles are gone.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time to rest a little bit and wait for a pullback to buy.
That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, you have your zones where you're looking for entry signals, and I'm just watching at a daily right now. I'm on Trading View, and as I see the last candlesticks, the last 3 days at least, all you see is just little spinning tops. There's nothing really going on. So if you're going intraday hunting for some points, it's quite a hassle because you don't get it at all, right? So that's why I feel like. That's why you didn't had a trade yesterday, for example, or today.
Yeah, but also, like, I think it's knowing that I've also had the good trades. So, like in the first, in the first 2 trading days of the year for the DAX, I made over 5%. So this is a nice return for the month anyway. So it's like, okay, the good and easy trades have already been completed. We know that January the market can be quite bullish on the opens on the beginning of the month. We know that America can be bullish in this period as well, seasonality, and then it might start to drop off. So I think it's also looking at, okay, well, I've had some really good, easy trades. I've banked a nice amount of money. Maybe I just need to camp out now and wait for something. Normally, I don't know about you, Wieland. When you see a really good trade, it really stares you in the face, right?
Yeah.
If you're kind of, I don't know, maybe there's something, maybe there's not. But the ones that you go, this one, I know that I've seen this before. I need to get on this trade. And unless something's kind of calling to me like that, just leave it. And you know what? There's loads of other things to get on with.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, sometimes you see trades that just calling your name, and sometimes like the opposite. I call these ones like premium setups. So like I'm pretty sure the same like you. My trading style is that I'm looking for reversal points. A little bit more, the whole move is totally overstretched. That's why I use Bollinger Bands as measures so that I see it's quite overstretched. And when I look at the daily chart right now, this is the definition of overstretched, right? So markets are just shooting up, and actually I don't see any reason for that at all, especially not from the fundamental side. So I see all the problems in the world. I see energy crisis in Germany. Everybody's talking about, okay, do we have a blackout or is it just a brownout? But then I see DAX going up and saying like, why is that?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And of course, it's when you look then on some levels of resistances or supports, and you have a reversal signal. This is something where I feel like, okay, now everything comes together. It just screams my name. I have to take that trade. And fair enough, sometimes they don't work, of course, right? But most of the times they do. And then we're back again to the idea of having just one trade. And then I'm happy, like, okay, I've done it. I got the profit, and I'm done for the day. At least with trading. I mean, I have something else to do as well, but at least with trading. Right. So it's like, yeah, I have to do what really the market tells me, and that's it. And after that, I don't know what market do or does. It's, well, maybe for somebody else.
So are you getting into a trade and then perhaps getting it risk-free and then leaving it with alerts, or how long do you sit with a trade?
That was a good point. Well, actually, this is really the question nobody really can answer for good, I feel like, because it's always something, if I had taken the profit now, I would have it. Now it's gone,
Right.
So I like to have a profit target. It's also why I use the Bollinger Bands, because they measure the volatility of the market. And by definition, it's when you go from one side to the other, the move already is like a little bit tired, and it's most likely to reverse. That doesn't mean that everything changes for good, but it just means that move is coming to an end, and that's where I want to go. So it's not possible to have an alarm there, not really, because Bollinger Bands are moving with the price
dynamic.
movement.
Yeah.
And dynamic. So my profit target is dynamic too, but I have software plugins. So I'm right now, I'm developing this, or somebody's programming this for me for the MetaTrader 4 and 5 later on. So that, you enter the trade and the profit target just gets adjusted. And the moment price reaches the bands, the execution is done. So that's basically it. And I'm very, very sensitive with stop loss on break even for a simple reason, If you know the structure, impulse move, correction, impulse move, that always means that you get stopped out at the very, very first correction of the move. And then you see how the move continues without your position. So very, very sensitive with this one, very cautious.
For sure. Yeah, no, it often happens. Yeah.
So I try to solve this everlasting question of how can I, how can I get a free trade from the market by just, exiting parts of my position that I have. I already have my profit in terms of this is what I already pocketed in, and this is what left on the table as a risk. That in total it's more or less break even. So that I have with a profit already covered my losses in case they come, and everything else is up to the market. So this is, from my point of view, the best solution, so that you just leave your stop loss where it is, and then just let the market run.
Yeah, I generally like to get risk free, and then run it, and then invariably I might start moving stops up as just locking in some more profit, but in some safe areas where you kind of think, well, look, if it starts breaching these areas now, then this is a trend reversal anyway.
Yeah. So, but are you compounding? So you find your entry, you have a nice zone, maybe support zone, you find your entry point, and market is moving, you're already in a profit. You think of adjusting your stop loss, training it a bit, and then you have a correction. So do you compound, building a pyramid, or do you just let your position run as it is?
Mostly I let my position run, but on certain situations, like the Santa rally, for example, that will be over, you know, a week period, then if I get the opportunity to compound, I will.
Yeah.
Or perhaps the first trading day of the month can often be positive. I often enter into those trades on the close of the US market. So if we've moved up a lot and I have another opportunity to get in either at the open or some kind of pullback, then I will. But there'll be, they're more what we would call like kind of market function situations where we know that buying is going to come in, or there's potentially selling going to come in. Like, for example, the end of the month, we start seeing some profit taking or some window dressing coming in, perhaps even from the open. But often what can happen is that comes off and then it will come back up, and I might add to a trade. But really more given kind of certain situations would I do that. But generally no. Because mainly a mainstay of my trades I'm in and out of in a day.
Yeah. So how do you manage them, by the way? Because as far as I know, and this is also the title of our interview, it's called the 1 hour trader, right? So, but if you just really in the markets or just trade for 1 hour, so it sounds to me that you have your profit target just set in the market and just let it go and leave the computer alone. Is it that case?
I mean, I will have a profit target, and I might take 100% because I just feel this is the area of the market that's it. Yeah. Like, for example, yesterday, the American market's closed. The DAX is open. I'm not overly expecting the DAX to rally, particularly because where it was at, but I didn't think that this is going to be a big breakout move. So we had a trade set up yesterday from the closing gap.
Yeah.
And I would run it to a kind of a level. I actually ran it to a Camarilla level. For anyone that knows those, the Camarilla level breakout long. So I'm thinking, I can't really see the market going much beyond that. So I'm happy to come out. But there may be another day where we're going, okay, this could really go. So maybe I take 75% and then leave 25% to run and put some alerts.
Yeah. Okay.
So just, it's so dependent
that much, right?
Where are we at in the market,
Yeah, true. I mean, you don't interfere that much. And also I feel like it's also something, or quite a huge mistake traders do, that they jump in, they just interfere with the market, they interfere with the trades, they add, they lower the positions, they raise the positions, they do whatever they do, but they just do a lot of stuff without really being necessary to do so. From my point of view.
Absolutely. I mean, I was talking about this today, is the, yourself included, will approach the market with a plan before the market opens. So I always like to say, like, you make a plan while you're sensible, while, the thing isn't going up and down and you're getting pulled in. So pretty much rough and tough, I know this is where I'm going to trade. Yeah. And if the market goes there, great, we're going to trade. If it doesn't go there, I'm not that interested, unless something now and again, something very, very different happens and you go, okay, let's reassess the plan. Yeah. But for me, 90% of the time, the plan is made before the open. So you just follow that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always very, very important to have a plan, you know, and to follow it somehow. Of course, you have to be quite flexible because
Hmm.
all you have is an idea, and it doesn't need to be the idea the market has as well. So that's another point. So of course, you need to be flexible. But first of all, in general, you have to know what you're talking about, you know, or what will you do in this or that level
Yeah.
when the market comes there, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So what do you think in general? Will the markets? I mean, the DAX is just one part of the market, but as we all know, more or less they are going in the same direction. So that is right now, the last weeks, it just went up like crazy for whatever reason. And do you think this will continue, or do we see a reversal, or at least just a correction? Let's say to the last breakout point, which is like it's a DAX like 14,600, something around that. What do you think?
Okay. Well, look, I guess if the DAX gets to 14,005 to 600, I'm looking to buy it again. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I think also is, look, let's face it, that the European markets, particularly Euro stocks, DAX, we're back into bullish territory. We're back above the MA2 200 on the
Yes.
daily chart. This is not a negative market.
No.
So at the moment, we've just got to go with it. It's positive until it's negative, right?
Yeah.
So I think also I am at the moment expecting that we'll probably have some kind of retracement. We have got this expiry week at the moment. Maybe
Yeah.
we see some weakness towards the 15,000 level, or kind of maybe 15,005, 15,000, 14,005, 14,006.
Yeah.
But if we rally after that and gain back above 15,100, there's not a lot of resistance after that,
True.
and
I
maybe
mean, if we stay here, next resistance is all-time high already.
yeah, it's exactly
So
what I
we're
was going to say.
talking about
16,
1,200 points
yeah,
alone in the
16,200, something like that. Yeah.
and and seeing this, and I mean, Dow Jones is even far, so it's almost facing its all-time high, and therefore, just getting the link about fundamental points and just what the market does. Doesn't it seem crazy somehow? Because, well, we have still the war going on in the Ukraine, still energy crisis is going on, especially in Europe. I mean, it's different in Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia. I mean, when I was in Singapore, oh my, this is the lightest city I ever saw, everything is enlightened, you all you see is the colors and stuff. Maybe it's different over there, but in general, we have a lot of problems we are still facing, and the world is still in. But do you really think that this is somehow still connected, or is other markets like trading really the future and playing the China's open again card? What do you think?
I mean, my humble view is that, look, the market is a future pricing index, right? So the market's always going to be 6 months, maybe longer ahead of itself. Normally when they officially announce it's a recession, or America hasn't officially announced a recession, it's normally, the last couple of months of a bear market. So, I just think at the moment there's the headwinds that the market's been facing. Some of those have been dropping. We've had good CPI last week was good. Jobs report was good. Wages are not going up, which is actually good for inflation. So there's CPI was down again last week. So, there's a lot of positive things. I mean, the Fed's coming out next week, so let's see what happens with that. They're expecting 25 basis points, which would be a reduction. So, yeah, but let's see. But certainly, the market's reacting very positively at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I mean, market reacts positive because it wants to react positive. That's how somehow like I feel things are going up. Really, you can interpret the numbers this or that way, and of course, market always decides the way it's comfortable about.
That's why I love it. I don't trade the news. I never trade news. I never ever trade news.
Yeah.
So, but you're absolutely right. The market will say, hey, this is what we felt about the news. So we know.
Totally. Totally. So that's why it's so important always to know that even though, I'm an economist, so I studied this stuff, but still, sometimes I'm so surprised that, numbers come up pretty good, but market's totally different and drops, something like that, or vice versa. So yeah, be careful about that, of course. For what you
Unless we're going maybe in, like, I was talking to our guys the other week that, if the news pushes us into a real key buy area where we're looking to buy, then fine. I think that's okay. But I wouldn't trade the direction of the news, or try and interpret, because we always say, like, good news to someone is bad news, and bad news to somebody else is good news.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's all looking good at the moment. I just got an alert that the Nasdaq is crossing 11,600. So
Yeah.
that sounds positive to me.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Are we already? Oh my, we do it again. It's already, we're talking about 30 minutes and we
Oh
could
my
go for
God.
hours. I think. I'm pretty sure. So we have some people here. What do you think about? Let's take a closer look to the future. What is your expectation for tomorrow's session in the DAX? Any ideas so far right now?
This is a great question, to which I to be honest, I don't have an answer, because I do my analysis ahead of the open. I get up in the morning, I have a look at the market, see what's happening. I think we need to see where it's at. As I say, I am thinking we might see some kind of pullback, but
Mhm.
again,
And
we're
we,
going to have to see some evidence of that. At the moment, the market is holding 15,100,
yeah,
which means it's positive. Historically, by the way, it's a very, very positive day for the Nasdaq tomorrow. Seasonality on that one's very strong. It's a 70% up
yeah.
day on the 18th normally. So let's see. But all I will say is that if we get down to 14,550, I'll be looking for a buy.
Yeah, right. I'm just looking at the 5 minutes chart, and I regret sleeping because this is a perfect reversal from my trading style. It's right in the morning, 9 a.m. market open. You see just a huge shooting star followed by not really perfect bearish engulfing, but everything is happening outside the band. This is what I call the expander, and this is where you feel like, okay, I just do that trade to the other side of the Bollinger Bands. You see, this is where everything turned back and you're done. I mean, this is something what I really like to say that, and I like to encourage everybody who's watching right now, just go on tradingview.com or your software and just check that situation that today on the 17th of January, this is really a trade where you feel like, okay, if you're a counter move trader, this is heaven. Of course.
Yeah.
So is this something you would consider as a trade, or is this where you look at, okay, it's pretty cool, but it's not calling my name?
So this is on the. Let me just have a look at it, Will. This is on the DAX, right?
Yeah, it's a future.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I think the DAX today. Let me just pull up the charts. So let me just get here.
And in
Okay, so
general, I think
the DAX has taken off since we were talking. So yeah, it came down this morning. So yeah, a very, very key level for me has been the 15,100 levels. We popped into, maybe the guys that are listening can check this out if they don't already know about the Camarilla levels. We popped into the Cam breakout short, which is where you were saying we came out of the Bollinger Band. So I know that you like to tie key levels in with Bollinger Bands as well. And we tagged yesterday's low, right?
Yeah.
And then it's got off. It's gone up there. I think this was a nice trade.
Yeah,
But
it would
now
be
the
not
market, oh my
sleeping.
God, in the last 5 minutes, it's just taken off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if these levels hold, then yeah, maybe next time we're talking, we're looking at all-time highs, 16,200. But the cool
Great.
news is that, uh, and this is what we're trying to explain to some of our guys of the day, is that once we get over certain levels, then it's more of an expectation that the market will go there. So it makes the trading plan a lot more simple, because all we're doing now is looking to buy pullbacks while we're above certain levels. And if
Yeah.
it breaches those levels and goes down, well, that's the end of that. But certainly, yeah, we could be looking at that now for the next month or so. I think we need to get expiry out of the way. Let's see what happens on expiry on Friday.
Yeah, true. I mean, maybe we see new all-time highs pretty soon. I don't hope so, because market is due for at least for a correction. So it's very healthy. But anyway, so I think we should continue this. What do you think?
We 100% should. I also wanted to think, how can we give the guys maybe an update? Maybe after expiry, maybe we can give the guys just an update on IG of just follow up from our thoughts from here, because there's quite a lot of important levels getting hit. But Wieland, you're trading mainly on what markets? I know we've talked a lot about the DAX today.
For me, it's more the US session. So
Right.
that one I don't trade right now, but generally it is. So I love to go with the Nasdaq just for its volatility, because you also see a lot of candlesticks like those, where you also see very nice reversal signs, and then you're very, very fast in getting into a huge profit zone if you get the profit, but you have to be fast. So you have to exit very, very fast because of this volatility. It's just jumping up and down. But what I also like is trading outside of the regular times, because then it's pretty smooth, and it works perfectly with Bollinger Bands for me then. So this is those. So basically, main market for me is the Nasdaq 100.
So you're trading the Nasdaq in its wildest form when it's open, like for the cash market.
It's not possible.
And I trade it in the Asian session, where it's nice and calm, or the European session. I mean, look
exactly.
at the candle at the moment.
Exactly. So if you trade,
5-minute candle is it's 80 points, right?
It's not possible. You cannot do this. So yeah, I watch all the madness coming in with the open, but it's not doable. So according to proper risk management, you cannot trade a 100-point candlestick. Of course you can do this, but it's not really advisable, because it kills you, right? Emotionally, it kills you, from my point of view. But just seeing how everything develops, and then just let them go for a couple of minutes, let's say 5, 10, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and then they find a direction. And then also you see that the candles begin to get a little bit smaller, and you have reasonable moves already behind you. So, and these moves will be covered with the next moves as well. So market is just chopping up and down most of the time. And this is what I try to catch. So that when after all the madness with the open, the market will find its direction, and then you see also some nice reversal points.
Yeah. So typically you let the market settle for about half an hour or more than that?
Sometimes I watch for half an hour or so. But sometimes, I feel like it doesn't work anyway, so I just leave it.
Yeah.
Just to see when I come back, and it's always the same. Like, if I would stay like 5 minutes more, I would have the sign. I would have the setup and the perfect entry. But well, what can you do? You have to make a decision, and then I continue next day or the day after. And as you said, you don't have to trade every day. You trade 2 or 3 days a week, done. And if you know what you're doing, that's enough. Right, so you don't really need to be there every day like crazy, especially not if you're experienced. So if you're a beginner, different story, because you have to get your hours in. But as a seasoned, experienced trader, it's not that necessary from my point of view, right?
Yeah, 100%. This is the same. I have no hair now, so I can't take on any more stress.
Yeah, but people have mistaken you already. I saw this in this comments for the actor guy.
Yeah, it's crazy in Asia. I have to say, it is absolutely craziness here.
Really?
It's a regular occurrence once a day. Somebody, I now just say I'm his younger brother.
That's why I always get the
just for
upgrade,
jokes.
right? The hotel. I
Sorry.
mean, you live in hotels, right? Like me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm at the moment. I'm in the St. Regis in Bangkok at the moment. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah, it's nice, and tomorrow I head back to the beach. So, but yeah, but
I'm just
again, I
in
think
Airbnb, so yeah.
yeah, we talked about this before. This is what the market affords us of our freedom, but
True.
I think it's important to say that that's not for everybody, and it may be that the market certainly can give you time for what you want to be doing, right?
True. All right, mate. So let's continue another date, maybe 2 or 4 weeks. We have to discuss this. So we have to see, because it's like, like 9:30 p.m. It's not always that you're really keen to do this. I totally understand that. And but we will continue with that one, of course, because it's fun. And we have to find our route here as well, I guess. We were talking a bit about markets, but we can continue with lifestyle, trading, like trader lifestyle, or travel, or I don't know.
Sure, I think we need to continue.
Yeah, how to find the best wine in Bangkok or whatever. So,
yeah, how to find
can be challenging quite well, right?
yeah, what the best wine in Bangkok? Yeah, well, it's expensive here. That's the thing. You need to know an importer, and then it's fine.
Okay, fair enough. All right, mate. Let's continue another time, like 4 weeks or so. We discuss this later on, but
Yeah,
wow,
perfect.
market just jumped through it, or it did jump. On trading you, I have a lag anyway, but
So just last point, maybe just because, and I want to know what you think, because I have a key level in the Nasdaq at 11,630. And we've got up to 20, and we're starting to reverse on your Bollinger Band. So is this going to be? This would be your type of trade, right?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the huge candles again. This is right now, or at least on TradingView. I just have open TradingView, my trading software. Right now, the moves are too strong for me.
Too violent.
In general, so what I was looking for. Let's go to the hourly chart. Yeah, we had this key level at 11,630. True, we've gone over it, and now what I would look like for is would like to look for is some kind of reversal sign, which is not happening right now, or at least not here on my chart. But again, TradingView is just lagging like a couple of minutes, like 50 minutes, I guess. Software, my trading software, of course, is live, but I don't have that much data here, or bandwidth. It's always a little bit tricky, especially here in Mexico. So, yeah, but in general, this is something. What if the market reverses and returns to the level? I would definitely think about taking a profit as well. Sure. So I go from both sides. I would go short if I have a reversal signal up to the level of 11,630, and I would also go long if the indication is there, was at least according to the candlesticks.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just follow candlesticks and their position within the Bollinger Bands. So that's basically it. Right.
So this might be quite good for us. Maybe one time we can get the live charts up and we can talk through the market. Maybe we get lucky, we get a good day, and we can do it from both of our perspective.
Yeah, that would be cool. So we need to find out how to share the screen on Instagram
Yeah, no
too.
problem. We can do. Oh yeah, maybe not in IG Live, but maybe on Zoom or something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, on Zoom we can do this. We can go. Well, we figure it out. So if any one of you have some tips how to share screen, how to share the chart on Instagram, maybe we can go Facebook Live, but well, we have to figure out. This one was just a start. Thanks for having us. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Carmen, we talk anyway, so all the best to you back in
Cheers. I really appreciate it.
Europe, Asia, wherever you are. So see you then.
Take
And
care.
yeah, we're out now.
Speak soon.